gob of them in the middle that hover between 115, 110 inches and 140. So your average is around 130 B&C score. That goes from the Delta of Mississippi to the King Ranch in Texas. They're going to average around 130, 135 inches. In the captive world, the middle of that bell curve shifts over because they're line bred for big antlers and they're fed incessant protein and they're missing other things, but that's neither here nor there. We can talk about that later, but they're fed a constant 20% protein diet, in some cases 25. Higher protein usually doesn't stay in the body, they pass it on out. About 20% is all they can handle. But be that as it may, in the captive world, that middle of the road deer is going to be 170, 180 inches, maybe even scaring 200. You got a whole gob of non-typicals on the right-hand side that are ridiculously big. But what about all of those deer on the left-hand side in the captive world? We need to think about that. That's the question. So you've got a whole slew of 150s, 160s, 140s that are, by all intents and purposes, in the captive industry, they're worthless. What do they do with those deer? Do they bolt gun them in the head? Bury them? Or do they find a market? What would that market look like? Would that market be egotistical landowners that wanted to put them a 170, 150, 160 out there and make them a social media post? Would it look like that? Would it look like introduction of a new genetic strain? What would it look like? Introduction into free-ranging herds of genetic material, DNA of unknown origin. What would that look like? Would a captive facility owner rather sell those deer to somebody for $400, $500, $600 and make a little something off of him, or would he be honest and bolt gun him?